Good evening and welcome to tonight's Opinion Hour. Tonight's main discussion will be about David Hicks. Now there seems to be a lot of talk about questions of whether or not this guy is guilty of anything or innocent of anything. I think this is not the point. I think what should be the main discussion point is whether or not we want our rights to erode to a point at which they are currently being done with the use of David Hicks in Guantanamo Bay by our government. It's not up to us to ask the questions of guilt or innocence. It is up to us to make sure that our rights are protected and that we have a government that is willing to stand up for our rights and to protect our rights as individuals and as a group. If you think that what's happening to David Hicks is okay, then I dare you to put yourself into that position and see if you come out with the same thinking. Why not? I believe it's very easy to actually get into Guantanamo. Just put yourself into an area where the Northern Alliance can abduct you, and before you know it, you will be taken away and hidden from the rest of the world as some kind of experimental rat or excuse to invade countries illegally, which is really what this is about. David Hicks is being used as a Westerner to prove to the rest of the world that by us attacking countries illegally, that was there for a reason. Look, our own people are terrorists, so we can attack other people that we suspect of terrorism. So I say to all the supporters that support the Guantanamo, you obviously have two bricks where your brain should be. I invite opposition to what I have just said. I invite people to write that they are all for Guantanamo. I'd actually be surprised that you could string any words together. Prove me wrong. That's all for tonight. Remember, John Howard is an idiot.
He travelled to Afghanistan and after some months decided to return to Australia. At the Pakistan border, he was released. He realised he had left his passport behind and returned in a taxi to retrieve it. The taxi driver had a cousin connected with the Northern Alliance, and David was captured by them as he left the taxi. A few weeks later, the Northern Alliance sold David to the Americans, who had just invaded Afghanistan. After some weeks of brutal interrogation, David was flown to Guantanamo Bay, where he has now been held for 5 years. There are currently no charges against David. He has not breached any international law, nor Australian nor Afghan law. In the 5 years that David has been held prisoner, no evidence of any wrongdoing has been shown. This is not a man who should continue to be in detention. Just like the other prisoners who are currently being held in Guantanamo Bay, there are 435 people in David's position, and like Terry Hicks, we too will fight on to ensure that those people are released and Guantanamo and all offshore prisons are shut down.